Hi everyone, this lesson's entitled Diptych, and within this lesson we're going to understand how to use two images together for creative effect. The success criteria is to establish what the term diptych means, find 5 images as a source of inspiration for your work, present 5 photographs that show your project, and then evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of your work. So a diptych or triptych is a series of images shown. So 2 images together are a diptych, whereas 3 images together are a triptych. It's very interesting language. So you can be quite creative in how you choose to show 2 images together. You can see the first one's quite interesting because you've got legs, and then on the right hand side you've possibly got the same model's hands. So again, it's a very interesting way to represent 2 images next to each other. And you can be very creative about how you choose to do this. You can just choose one particular subject. For example, if you see the one here of the barbed wire, you can see a kind of 2 close-up images. There's one vertical and one horizontal, and then there's a more sort of a wider angle shot which shows a bit more of the location, so it's nice to do a bit of a theme. But you can be very creative with your ideas. I really like the one in the centre where you have the portrait of the lady looking to one side, but the other photograph is like a tree, which almost looks as if it's extending out of her hair. So you can be very creative. You can create quite funny images like the one on the right where you've got this kind of, you've got 3 images creating a portrait, which is kind of a caricature. The one at the top, you have the little boy sort of looking at his hands, and then we see the different point of view. We actually see the hands holding the snails. I think they're snails. It's difficult to tell actually on second look. But that's what I'm looking for. You know, how can you play around with these ideas? Can you create a narrative? Can you just create a really surreal image? Can you just photograph one thing from lots of different angles? As I said before, there's no rules really. It's just how you want to interpret the brief, and there's lots of possibilities and ways that you can do this. And you can also be quite comical with how you want to play around with this. Obviously, you can see the image on the right; it's quite funny, or the one on the left again is a little bit more interesting. You have a portrait, and then on the other side you have a landscape. So it's really thinking about how these 2 images can work together, and how you can almost sort of create a story out of them. And it's important to think about how the 2 images will line up. Obviously you've got the image above which works really well because of the proportions of face, and that's quite comical. And then the one on the right is quite interesting again because it tells a story. So it can be quite a simple idea, but it's how you execute it and how you use those 2 images together that's interesting really. And like always, the thing that I'm most interested in with these lockdown tasks is really your ideas. It's difficult to be sort of completely technical proficient with the use of mobile phones. You can be as much as you can, but I'm really interested in your ideas and how you play around. And again, these are 2 very interesting ideas. Obviously, the top one goes without saying, the sort of the idea that's being explained, and I really like the one underneath. You've obviously got a portrait of a photographer, and then you have, I'm guessing it's the photographer's equipment all laid out. So it's almost like a collection. So two portraits in a sense next to each other. I really like this one as well because you've almost got a torn paper effect, which you can try and create with an app, or if you have a printer at home and you wanted to print off some of your images and create a collage with the 2 pictures, then that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm looking for images that you've taken yourself. I'm not looking for you to use anything off the internet or in a magazine or anything. It's your own photographs that I'm interested in and your own ideas. You can use Pic Collage, you can use canva.com, you could use PowerPoint to put the 2 images together. And if you send me in fact, I'll make a Google form that you can place your work into. Very much looking forward to your responses. Have fun.